Thank you, McDonald, and good evening, Zimbabwe. Our coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic continues, but this time with our brothers and sisters based outside the country. Nkosinathi Zvimba is joining me now from the United Kingdom. I spoke to him last week about the situation in the country. He's a businessman based in that country. Good evening, Nkosinathi Zvimba.
Good evening, Owen, and good evening to all the Zimbabweans who are watching at the moment.
Thank you very much. I understand that the UK has registered another drop in daily toll in terms of deaths from the COVID-19 pandemic. Tell us more about the situation in the UK.
Situation in the UK is still dire, I would say, and there is a drop as of the 10th of April, because the 10th of April was the day where we had 980 deaths, but then since then we've dropped up to 717 as of today, but it's still bad, and the government is saying we still not yet at the peak, so it's still going to get worse, especially this coming week.
One of the biggest concerns is the fate of small businesses. I understand you're also an owner of a business there in the United Kingdom. What is the fate of small businesses since the last time we spoke?
I would say it's not a one cape fit for all. The thing is that the businesses are different. Like ourselves, we're involved in petrochemical and export, but then we do have other businesses like the ones in the healthcare system. They're actually, at the moment, business is booming for them because there's so much demand for their care assistants, nurses, as each and every hospital is under. So their business is actually doing well compared to other businesses. But things like pubs, restaurants, I can see a lot of them closing after this coronavirus.
I understand that there was an extension of the lockdown by the UK government also today. To what extent do you think this is going to affect the situation in that country with regards to containing this pandemic?
As I've just said, is like since we're yet to hit the peak, it will be unwise to not to extend the lockdown. So the lockdown is being extended actually because we're trying to see the numbers go down up to maybe up to double digits. Then after that, the government will look at maybe easing off the lockdown and then people back to work and businesses opening. But at the moment, the lockdown has to continue because if you look at Spain and Italy, they've also increased their lockdown to up to second week of May.
Obviously, we're concerned about our fellow Zimbabweans in the UK there and their businesses as well. How are they coping?
At the moment, they're coping very well, and I think it's good as well for family bonding because we're always busy in and out. Some do night shifts, some do day shifts. So with this lockdown, we had the chance to be together as families and then understand each other. And then I think it's going to create a great bond after this COVID-19 lockdown is lifted. And then a lot of people will understand each other, even though there's been a high rise of domestic violence. But it's issues being sorted out at home, of which things will get better.
Lastly and briefly, Nkosinathi, tell us your experiences. We haven't registered a lot of deaths and cases in this country. Tell us about this virus. What is your warning to Zimbabweans back here?
As a Zimbabwean living in the UK, 50% I'm always thinking about what's happening back home. And I would tell the people back home not to take this thing lightly. It is a serious problem. It's affecting developed countries like the UK, Spain, Germany, Italy. And if it hits a third world country like Zimbabwe, I think it's gonna be like one of those worst catastrophes we've seen. I've been just checking the news this morning on Ecuador. It's if you check the news on Ecuador, you will understand what this virus can do to a third world country.
Before you go, Nkosinathi, any Zimbabweans that you know that have actually lost their lives due to this virus there in the UK? Are there any friends or relatives that you know?
Yes, that's why I'm saying this thing it's hit home now because there's a few people I know personally who've actually succumbed to this disease, and in terms of the numbers, I think we've gone past double digits now on Zimbabweans, of which I don't have confirmed exact numbers, but it's gone double digits now.
Thank you, Nkosinathi. I hope to join you again to just give us overview of the situation there in the United Kingdom. MacDonald, that was Nkosinathi I was speaking to, just giving us a brief and also an overview about the situation in the United Kingdom, about the deadly COVID pandemic. Back to you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Owen, and we'll be continuing to give Zimbabwe coverage of